What's going on, guys? Alex here, 814ADC, and today I'm ready to do my full, I'm going to call this an overview of the Divo Knives Buzz prototype. Now I'm calling this an overview just because I carried it and I cut with it, but I didn't, I'm going to give you kind of my full thoughts on it, but I am getting one of these in on pre-order. So then I'll probably do a more, in-depth review then, talk about my experiences with it, because this is not my knife. I'm going to get my knife in the spring sometime, and then I'll probably do like a couple month update like I've done a few times before with models that I get in and then I later on get for my collection. But I've had this for about 2 weeks, and I'm ready to do my full sort of overview on it. It's a great knife. I say this every time I video myself talking about a Devo knife product. Kevin and Colin, Kevin at Left EDC and Colin at CM Knife Designs, are the masterminds behind Devo. You guys all, if you're watching my channel, you are probably pretty familiar with Devo as a brand and their products. Just fantastic knives. Kevin and Colin just produce hit after hit after hit. They have nothing but awesome designs, awesome knives. As of right now, I have in 3. If I can grab my Stout. So the Stout was the first knife to come from Devo. Fantastic model. Just great ergos, great action. Really love this knife. Then came the White Mountain Knives exclusive growler. This thing is just a fantastic budget knife. 14C in micarta for like $70, $75. Really love that knife. Then more recently, which you guys probably saw on the channel, I still have to review this one, but the Blue Creek Knives exclusive mash came in, and this thing might be my favorite. It just is so comfortable in hand. The action is ridiculous. I flicked this thing probably 10,000 times, and there is no blade play. So this review is going to be possibly my most positive one yet when it comes to Devo knives, and they've all been pretty damn positive. So be on the lookout for the full review, probably within another week and a half or so. But I don't want to digress. This is about the Divo Knives Buzz. This was a pre-order done back in October. According to the website, it was October 15th at 1 p.m. Eastern. I should have remembered that because I got on and I bought a pre-order spot. I am very eagerly awaiting mine to come in. This was a knife that I had very high hopes for, and I kind of got with the prototype being in hand and having it around for a while. A lot of those thoughts and those hopes were concreted. This thing is fantastic. It's comfortable. It feels a little bit more premium than the other 3, just because you're getting that beautiful hollow grind, that Warncliffe sheep's foot kind of mixture of a blade, very thin behind the edge. It's a full tie build. Like it feels the most premium to me. I don't know if that's because the Stout and the Growler have micarta on them. The mash also feels very premium too, but I know in my head, what I paid for it. For $120, this thing just, it's so good, guys. But again, I don't want to digress just because Devo knives are just in my head. They're fantastic. But this just feels, I guess, wrapping up for the last minute of me rambling on, feels more premium. I believe they were made by Beztech. Yes, so manufacturing partner was the Beztech. This blade shape is the Buzzcliff. I did not know that was what they are officially calling it. That's what it is here on the website. It's a 3.3-inch blade, really thin hollow grind with 20 CV. Of course, this is black washed. 4 ounces. Inset liner lock, which is really cool. I guess we're just going over hardware. So yeah, this version is the reverse tux. So you have the black wash blade with the stone wash titanium handles. You have all blacked out hardware, including a black wire pot clip, which is really nice. It's pretty standard on, the Stout had it. The Mash has it. The Growler doesn't have it just because it's, I guess, not a more premium model. It's kind of it's what Shielding uses for their budget clips. Has a black titanium backspacer. It's on bearings. There is some internal milling on the show scale side. There looks to be 2 pockets that are milled out. And then on the lock bar side, no, sorry, the lock bar side, there's 2 pockets milled out. And then on the show scale side, there is 3 pockets. Like I said, it's on bearings. So you have a hole for deployment, and you also have this top flipper that is a sort of Colin Mason Pierre special. If you guys saw my review of the QB Hide way back, probably last spring sometime, maybe early summer, late spring, early summer, which the Hide is a CM knife designed knife. He had a sort of like this Zippo style top flipper, and he and Kevin introduced it and brought it over here to the Buzz, which is really cool. It is dead nuts centered. And of course, this is a prototype, so it's been passed around a few times. I think I'm one of the last people to get to check it out. So it's been used, it's been carried. The action is still smooth, but it's definitely a little gritty. I'm sure it could use a disassembly and a cleaning and a re-oiling. But for it being in its current state, it's a damn good knife, and I really, really like it. So I think that's all for materials. So I wanted to go over the 4 different the 4 different pre-order options. I apologize, guys. You guys know sometimes I ramble over my words. I get stuck on stuff. It is what it is. So this is, like I said, the reverse tux. So it is bead blasted titanium. Excuse me, I thought it was stone washed. Bead blasted tie with a black wash blade. Then you have a silver fox, which is stone washed tie, stone washed blade, so completely stone washed. Then you have a blacked out, which is a blacked out blade, blacked out tie. And then you have the tux, which is the one that I ordered. It is black wash tie with a satin blade. And originally the tux with the satin was like $20 more expensive than the other 3. So I originally was going to get this version because this is my second favorite. But then Kevin dropped the tux version down to be the same price as all the other ones. And I was like, oh, I'm going to grab that because it just looks really, really stunning and premium. That satin just, I haven't had it in hand yet, so I can't, attest to it that way. But just from looking at the mock-ups of it, I'm very excited for it. But it was cool when Kevin mentioned that Kevin over at Knife Nerdery, who was the one who sent me this, was sending me a Buzz prototype, and he told me that it was the reverse tux version. I was pretty excited to get to check out kind of my second pick for this knife, which is very similar to the MASH. So I kind of already had an idea. Granted, I had this in for 1 day before I got this to unbox, so it's not like I had this in for a lot of time to get to experience it. But yeah, so there was 4 different options. I will talk about price point later, but these did come in at $299 on the pre-order. But yeah, so those are all the materials and those are all the variations. Let's move on to action. So you of course have an elongated opening hole here, and like I said earlier, this top flipper here. Thumb flick, fires very well, very snappy. Closing action is pretty good most of the time, but sometimes it gets sort of caught up, like right here, and you kind of have to give it a little bit more movement to close it. But it's very snappy, drops to your nail, shake it closed. Middle finger flick just flies out of there. The detent is very nicely tuned. I truly don't know. It's probably something I should know by now, but I don't know what the changes were from the prototypes to the final production run. Because honestly, like, this knife is as good as it is right now. I would take this for my money. I don't know if there's any changes. I'm sure Kevin and Colin had a few things that they wanted to be changed that they went with, but very snappy. Top flipper works extremely well. And I'm sure the closing action would be a little bit better, like I said, if it got cleaned out, taken apart, cleaned out, re-lubed with some KPL. But again, I didn't want to do that. I sometimes, I don't like taking my knives apart sometimes just because they're sort of not a pain in the butt, not hard, but they're just annoying sometimes to take stuff apart, and you never are sure if you can get it back as well as you had it before or it came. But middle finger flicks well, index finger flicks well, top flipper, flips well. You know, all in all, very snappy, very fun to fidget with. And, you know, even though the closing action isn't what I think it can be, it's still pretty damn good, and I'm very content with it right now. So all in all, action is good. Next up is Ergos. This thing is super duper comfortable in your hand. You know, it's pretty much straight back here. You have a little indent right here, and then it kind of tapers off and is pretty straight. Then you also have a very generous 50-50 choil that I think Kevin and Colin like to call it. But without choked up, I can still get 4 fingers on the knife. It's very, very comfortable. Sorry, I had a brain fart there. The wire paw clip, excuse me, I'm sorry about that, does not cause a hotspot at all. It's very comfortable. That's another, you know, great thing that they do with the milled paw clips, or sorry, the milled paw clips. The wire paw clips, they never really cause hotspots just because they're unobtrusive. They're kind of like, they're all rounded off, and they're very easy in the hand. Then you choke up with the forward choil here, and this thing just becomes an ergonomic dream. It's super comfortable. You really get locked in there. There is no jimping. I don't know if that was something maybe they did change for the production run. They could have added some jimping to it, but you know, I could go with it. I could take it, I could leave it, kind of one of those things. But very comfortable. Also, the paw clip is reversible. That's one thing I didn't mention, but of course, a lefty designed it, so it's going to be reversible. But yeah, choked up in this grip here, very comfortable. This blade shape is very, very usable for daily tasks of opening mail, ripping into Amazon packages, cutting labels. You could use this thing for food prep, really anything. This thing is just, with that hollow grind, it's very thin behind the edge. Feels great in hand. Obviously the blade doesn't, but the handle. And this thing just feels like a workhorse ready to be used, but a premium workhorse at that, like I mentioned earlier. Just really comfortable. I love the way the contouring is done here on the scales, kind of with some indents here. It's just very comfortable altogether. No sharp edges or anything like that. Yeah, just really no complaints at all from the ergo standpoint. And choked up here, it's just fantastic. And that's really how all the knives are. It's very comparable to the Stout with how comfortable that is with the choil. The Growler doesn't have a choil. Excuse me, yes, it does have a choil. I don't know why I said that. It does have a choil. That might be one of the worst things I've ever said on a video, so I do apologize about that, guys. That was really quite the brain fart. It's the mash doesn't have the choil. The way that's designed. It does have a landing choil, but doesn't have a, you know, into the knife sort of choil, if that makes sense of what I'm trying to get across to you guys. But yeah, ergos are fantastic on this. Next up is Carry. And I think this said it's right around 4 ounces. Yeah, 4 ounces. So that is, you know, pretty good in the pocket, combined with a wire paw clip. I remembered the name for it that time. But that combined with the paw clip, it's very good in and out of pocket. I only carry this front right pocket of my jeans. There is no flipper tab or anything like that to worry about catching your hand on. If you are, you know, reaching down in your pocket for chapstick, coins, anything small that you might be carrying that gets underneath the knife, no worries about that. But yeah, again, it's reversible, so lefties can carry it easily as well. But it's a good size. I love the 3.25 to 3.5 range. It's kind of where my sweet spot is for knives, for the most part. But it's a very good, you know, nice compact package. Drops in the pocket very well. You know, you have a little bit of the knife sticking up out, but to me, that's pretty much at the butt end of the knife. So you're pretty much carrying at pocket level, but carry is very, very good. Lastly, I want to talk about price point and what I recommend this knife. Price point, like I said earlier, is $299. That was the pre-order price. And it was a pre-order in October. And according to the website, it says expected delivery in first quarter of 2023. So that, I believe Kevin said, probably middle to end of March, early April, somewhere in there. That's just how pre-orders go. But for $299, I'm very, you know, okay with paying that price. An inset titanium liner lock with titanium scales, a beautiful 20 CV Buzz Cliff blade that has a, you know, just very awesome hollow grind. All in all, the package of everything you're getting, and you're also supporting Kevin and Colin, you know, continuing their business with Devo. That's the money you're giving them is being put back into their designs, is being put back, into the community basically. Because I've seen some of their knife designs that they have coming out, down the road this year, and they have some bangers coming out, and that's where, Kevin has said multiple times he hasn't taken any money out of Devo yet to put in his pocket. Him and Colin have basically taken it and put it back into the company, back into designing more knives, getting prototypes, doing stuff for Divo knife fans like myself to, experience new things and to add new things to the collection. But I think $299 is a, very, very suitable price for this. Feels like a very premium design. I would have to say it's the most premium Divo knife that I'm handling right now. And that's, that's pretty good air to be in with everything else that they've come out with so far being fantastic. I really have enjoyed everything that they've had so far. And I, really foresee myself getting every Divo knife that they come out with, unless I really hate one of their designs. But so far, everything I love about knives and about designs and about steels and materials, they're putting into their stuff. And, I'm happy for Kevin. I'm happy for Colin. I think it's going to be a big year for them. I think they're going to continue to put out really good designs. So, yeah, I think that can, say enough to me recommending the knife, recommending the brand. Of course, I will always link Divo Knives in the description down below to their website and their Instagram whenever you come across one of my videos involving a Divo knife. But yeah, I can't wait for mine to come in. This has just kind of made my want stronger for this, and I just can't wait to get it in. So, but I'm going to wrap this up, guys. I always say that. Thank you guys so much for watching. I greatly appreciate each and every one of you. I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Peace.